Audience feedback has played a very significant role in our music video process, and not just for Blush. The initial response to our original project Stella was mainly negative feedback. When we asked for feedback on the questionnaire on the video Stella, our audience felt that the video did not match the song or the style and that it was too lyrical. It was the audience feedback that suggested we started another project and rethought our entire idea. This feedback has proved invaluable to our project. It has also shown us that what we create is not always what people want to see. As such, for Blush, we made sure that our feedback was always aimed towards the audience and what the audience wanted to see.
However, we did agree with this response, and we felt that continuing with the current product would be a mistake. We had essentially hit a brick wall with the project, so we decided to start again and have now created what we believe to be a successful media product. This would not have been the case if we did not receive audience.
After we completed our first draft of the No Sleep Tonight video, we created a questionnaire and asked a Year 9 group for feedback on the music video. From the feedback, it was clear from the positive answers that starting again was the correct action to take, even though we had limited time. However, we were determined to create a successful music video, and we were ready to put in the extra time and effort, and the audience feedback showed that it paid off. There were many positive comments stating that the music video was fun and exciting, and the majority of the audience said that it does fit the image of popular girl bands because of the conventions followed. Furthermore, it was highlighted that the girly fun image we wanted to portray worked, as the audience stated this was easily recognisable. The feedback was mainly positive, but there were some features of the music video that were not understood by the audience.
The colour identification of each member was one of these features. The audience felt that it was needed to be more apparent because of this, we decided to put a colour overlay on one of the choruses when each band member was the centre focus. For example, when Beth was in front, the screen went
Word.
Photoshop was used in the development of the Digipacker magazine advert. As a group, we chose to include the photographs where we wore summer outfits due to the fun image it provides. It was my role to edit these photos using the selection tools, for example, the Magic Wand tool, so I could just select individuals from the photographs. After this was complete, I noticed that the faces were unclear because of lighting, and consequently I varied the levels on Photoshop to make the image less dark. For the Digipack, I also altered the photos as to create a professional image, ensuring that what I changed linked to the persona of the girl band. For example, on the Digipack we used my glitter blue shoe, however I felt that the colour needed to be changed to pink as to fit with our girly image.
Every individual in our group used the website Blogger to create personal blogs. We used it to track our individual and group progress, recording our research and planning right from the start, also including our failures. Whilst documenting the process, we managed to use different techniques to display information in a more exciting way. The blog allowed us to upload YouTube videos to further back up our research. We added presentations on the blog created from Google Docs, and finally, with the help of Paint, we created spider diagrams, such as the one on the representation of Lana Del Rey. To add further interesting posts, I used Google Calendars to record when we could film, print screening this image onto a blog post. I felt this was more interesting than just typing out a list. My contribution to the Digipacker magazine also involved using the Photoshop software. I imported the features needed for the finishing touch, such as moving around text and images by selecting the correct layer. Also, this included the importation of the barcode.
We use the editing software Sony Vegas during all stages of our project. Whilst researching, we created a PowerPoint presentation about a popular singer. Our group chose Rihanna. We recorded this presentation and quickly edited it on Sony Vegas so we could display it on our blog. During the planning stages, we as a group took various pictures of locations and then collated the images into an animatic using Sony Vegas. For the music video, we used lots of different editing techniques to try and make our product as professional looking as we could. For example, the split screen and colour overlays. To further improve our editing knowledge, we watched tutorials on YouTube, which we found incredibly useful. However, with this package, there were some limitations. For example, you can only have a certain number of tracks to put footage on. One of our ideas was to have a split screen shot, but whilst the girls were in front of the green screen. We filmed this and edited together different sections, but then found we could not put them together due to the fact that we had filled the track allowances. This caused us to scrap that idea and also meant we had to refilm some sections and try and make them more simplistic. Instead of pages of writing for our evaluation, we have recorded all the information and we are creating a video podcast with images so that our evaluation is more engaging for our audience.
I used Sony Vegas to edit the green screen. The green screening was Jess's idea, however I took over the editing. I first selected Colour Kia from Video Effects. I chose pure green screen and laid this over the footage. This then turned the background black. I selected mask only to bring up a white picture of the band member in focus of the footage and changed the high and low thresholds until the white band member was a solid white mask compared to the black background. I then unchecked the Show Mask Only button, which then revealed the band member against the background, but the band member was back in colour. Because of the sharpness of the image of the band member, it then meant that I had to use the blur amount to make the person look more realistic rather than just being photoshopped in. When all this was done, we then could use effects or put a picture in the background. To create the cartoon effect that is seen on the video, I put the high threshold to full and no low threshold. This then created the cartoon editing you can see in the video. Overall, Sony Vegas was very helpful whilst editing our green screen. However, there were some difficulties in the fact that you had to select the colour Kia, then take the effect off before using the selecting pen to take a sample of the colour of the green screen before rechecking the effect. This is because the pure green screen is set to one colour of green screen and is therefore generic rather than applying itself individually to every single colour green screen. This was probably the only difficulty we had in the green screen editing process, and so we found Sony Vegas very useful.
Cool.
As I was in charge of camera shots, I suggested using my 500D camera as the quality of the shots would look a lot better than if we use a school video camera. Doing this led our music video to look more professional, as it meant our footage was very clear and you could actually see our faces as well as what we were saying. As I was in the music video, I had to frame the camera shots before I performed. I did this by using the tripod, changing the height to what was needed. For example, in the car park dance scene, I made sure the shot was symmetrical, as so our video had artistic shots. Another media technology used was the well-known social networking site Facebook. We used this for organisation as so we could communicate with each other easily, this meaning we all knew what to do, for example, where and when we were meeting before shooting. Also, with my camera, I took photos of our blush logo, which we created from using lipstick. This collaborated well with our media products as it also represented a girly image. I then uploaded this one onto the school via my SD card and imported it onto the Digipack.